Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Blue Chip. Today is Talk About It Tuesday, which means that we take time to talk about something either that we're going through or something we've ever been through. And today I am going to talk about something I mentioned kind of briefly in the video where I was kind of having a mental breakdown. I'm going to talk about what I like to call an ADHD spiral. Now, ADHD spirals are normally, for me at least, a precursor to a possible mental breakdown, and that is because the basic of the spiral is one negative thought leads to another negative thought, leads to another negative thought, leads to another negative thought, and so on and so forth. And as those negative thoughts just build and build and build and build and build and build and build, you feel like your sanity just sinks deeper and deeper, and you start to lose track of quite a bit of rational thought, at least in my case. It's kind of like your brain focusing only on things that are negative. Sorry, guys. And but it's more to the extent of like a hyperfocus, as if you were hyperfocusing, but it's only on the negative aspects of something that you are going through at that time. And I came up with the name Spiral because that's just how I described it to myself one day, because I was trying to talk out my feelings and how I was feeling. And it was like, it's like I'm on a minecart, and the minecart track is just going down and down and down into a dark cavern that you can't see the bottom of. And the track is lined with nothing but rails made up of all the negatives that your mind is building upon. So you follow that negative trail. You follow it until you are so deep in that cave that you see nobody else around except yourself, and you are completely surrounded by nothing but your failures. And in that moment, it is very easy to get lost, lose a sense of who you are, and just start blaming yourself. Where did I go wrong? What's so broken about me? How come I pushed away? Like, what did I do to push away somebody that I loved so much? And how come whenever I tried to fix it, all I did was mess it up, and then I messed it up more, and your brain does not let you see the positives. And it's scary, because even though when you think logically about it, you know that you have done a lot of positive. Like, say you're doing bad in school. You're coming up at the end of a semester, and you're not quite to where you want to be. You have 2 out of, say, 5 classes that they're B's, C's, maybe even you're struggling to even pass them. But all your other 3 classes are A's. When you're down in that spiral, you don't see those A's. all you see are the failures, the negatives, and they surround you, and then you just start thinking, am I broken? What is wrong with me? Why would I do this to myself? Why can't I be normal? And that is a very dangerous place to be. It is really, really easy to lose yourself once you get down there. And the problem is, with ADHD, it's very easy to find that path down there, because deep in your brain, your receptors aren't picking up the chemicals like they're supposed to. They're not firing right. And it's just failure. And that's all your brain will calculate in that time. And it's tough, and it's easy to get lost. To share some tips that have helped me throughout the years. I've done meditation. Yoga is a real big help. I'll throw on a yoga video on YouTube and just follow along. Something light, nothing too extraneous. Something that's about kind of waking up, like a good get ready for the day, or my personal favorite are the ones where you're getting ready to go to bed. Those routines in yoga are the ones that help me the most whenever I'm in that situation. You just do it. You focus on the video. You focus on the positions. And by the end of it, a lot of the stress and a lot of that negativity hasn't had enough time to just sit there and just keep spiraling out of control, because you're so focused on making sure the position is right, or looking at the video. Another thing that helps me is I'll hit the gym. It's I don't find it as helpful, because when you're at the gym, you're kind of just doing. If I'm lifting weights, I'm just pumping iron and I'm just doing it. If I'm on the treadmill, or more likely on the elliptical, I'm just moving my legs, and it still gives your brain time to think about these things. But you stay there, you do enough exercise for a good amount of time, your body starts being filled with a lot of other chemicals and stuff that make its way to the brain, and then your brain's got to start worrying about, ooh, I'm getting kind of sore, ooh, I'm this, or ooh, wow, has it really been 30 minutes since I started this set? Have I really ran an equivalent of about 3 miles? And eventually it'll fade away. Another one of my personal favorites is I will hop on my skateboard and I will throw on a podcast or just some blaring loud music, just like so loud that it's unhealthy for my ears. And I just lose myself in the words. I lose myself in the rhythm. I lose myself in the cadence that is surrounding me. Because when those headphones are in your ears and that board is on the ground, you become a single entity, closed off from external stimuli. And the thing about the riding the board is, for me, it's a little tougher because since I'm so closed off to the world and external stimuli in terms of audio stimuli and stuff like that, it makes my brain actively confront those negative thoughts. And you gotta be really careful with the music you pick. Someone like me, I am very empathetic, and music moves me like crazy. And if I pick some somber music or something like that, it's only gonna spiral me down worse. So normally I try to pick something kind of upbeat, happy, or maybe even something like old school, A Day to Remember or something. I'll pump it up, jam me out to their album For Those Who Have Heart, and just lose myself in just the heavy beats and the chugging of the guitars. And eventually my brain just confronts those thoughts and I start feeling good because I'm out exercising. And eventually you just kind of, you find your way out of that dark spiral. Now, those are just methods that work for me. If I don't know what you call what I call my spiral, you may call it something completely different. But everyone who has been through one of those, you know exactly what I am talking about. And you may have found ways that work for you. So I'm going to ask a favor with anyone who sees this video. Anyone who has found themselves in a similar situation. It doesn't even have to be ADHD. If you have depression and you find yourself in a similar circumstance where you feel like you're spiraling down and you're just surrounded by the negative and you can't think of the positive, what has worked for you? So I'm going to issue out a challenge to anyone who watches this video. Every single person who watches this video, leave a comment down below. Tell us about one time where you felt you were in that spot. And tell us what you did to find your way out. Because not one thing works for everybody. But the larger the sample size, the more options we have, the less daunting it feels. Because instead of having nowhere to turn, if you have 50 suggestions that have helped other people, 49 of them you're through and none of those have worked, and then you hit that 50th one, and suddenly you're coming up out of that spiral. and you feel that energy returning, and that's one more person who we have helped. So as a challenge, like I said, anybody who watches this episode, leave a comment down below. You don't have to give any specifics about what caused the spiral or anything like that. Just tell us how you felt and tell us what you did to help you out. Because together we can all realize we are not our illnesses. We are not our past failures. And we are not trapped forever in a deep, dark spiral. We can find our way out. And I'm not going to ask you to subscribe on this episode or even leave a like, because nobody likes dealing with spirals. But I will ask that you share the video with one person, any person, because if one person shows one person and that person shows one person and that person shows two people, that's 4 more people who we have helped together, all from one person. So let's continue to get better, everybody. Because realize, whenever you feel like you are in your worst moments, take a breath, close your eyes, and remember, we are not broken. It's not that we're not normal. We are unique. And everybody is unique. And I guarantee you, everybody in their life has had a moment similar. So we're no different. It may be a little bit harder for some of us, but our mental illnesses can also be a strength. We come up with some very interesting solutions. So remember the challenge I gave y'all. Remember to share it with 1 or 2 people. Just show them the video and say, hey, if you ever have a hard time, check this video out. Thanks a lot for stopping by today on Talk About It Tuesday. Every single one of y'all. Y'all mean a lot to me. Thank you. I love you guys. Keep it up. Stay strong. Catch y'all later.